What's up everyone, this is Tiffany with thegearlady.com and today we are talking microspikes. What are microspikes, you say? Oh, you have come to the right place. These totally sound like I have shackles on. So microspikes are actually used for winter hiking. I used them for the first time earlier this year. If it's fresh powder, that's where you would use snowshoes, but if it's harder, more compact, ice or snow, that's where you're gonna use microspikes to help you to kind of climb across the top. Do my hand movements here help you to understand what I'm saying? Okay, good. Glad we're on the same page. For those of you that are looking to hike during the winter, I really would highly recommend it. I'm going to share some tips and tricks, the microspikes that I used and kind of my experience. We're going to talk through clothing you're going to want to wear, what type of shoes when you're hiking in the winter, and if you need to purchase any additional gear outside of the microspikes. And hopefully by the end of this, you're going to be inspired to want to go do a little bit of winter hiking. This is going to be a really good one. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm so good at all the words. This is gonna be one of those videos that I look back later and think, why? Why did I choose to do that? Where other people could see, you know? For those of you that are new here, I created the Gear Lady. Basically, I'm trying to normalize newbie. Every time I went to try something new, I felt really ridiculous being a newbie, and I felt awkward and uncomfortable. I'm not an expert in any of the things that I'm talking about, but I'm hoping by taking you along on me trying new things and getting out of my comfort zone, it will help inspire other people to do the same thing and kind of normalize newbie together. It's so much easier to enjoy life when you have awesome hobbies that you enjoy doing year round. For any of you that are looking to get outdoors in the winter, there's so many possibilities, and this is kind of one of many options. I wanted to share my experience with my microspikes in case you want to try it too, and maybe that's a hobby that you're going to enjoy. So these are the microspikes. I will link these down below. These are really inexpensive, kind of stretchy that you can stretch it up over your shoe, and then they're accurately named because they have these little microspikes. It's like they actually came up with a good name. Unlike crampon, which sounds like tampon. Like, who comes up with these names? Seriously, someone comment down below. Who came up with the crampon term? When you're using microspikes, you actually want to hike as far as you possibly can before you put your microspikes on. So say you come to snow, just go ahead and keep hiking until you've reached a point that you feel like you're needing that extra traction. Again, my hand movements, really, really effective here. You can keep your microspikes just in your bag and just slap them on when you need them. You can take them off when you don't. If you think you will ever really want to do any hiking in the winter, I recommend you just get them now so that you're prepared, and if the opportunity becomes available, you're ready to go. If you're going to do any type of winter hiking, you want to make sure that you're wearing the right type of clothing. For sure, make sure you're not wearing cotton, because cotton is going to absorb your sweat and then just keep it wet. So you want to make sure you have some type of moisture wicking material, and so that way you're not holding that moisture close to you where you have that wetness that is going to turn into then coldness. Coldness? We're going with it. So make sure you have moisture wicking fabric for your base layers. What I would recommend is dress warmer, and you can always remove layers. You're starting at the bottom, you might start getting a little bit toasty and want to kind of remove some layers, but then as you go higher and higher up, it's also going to be a little bit colder as you're going up. And so you might eventually add those layers back on, especially when you get to the top. If you want to take any type of breaks or anything like that, it's just better to have those extra layers just in case. I talk with my hands just a bit, and I'm just kind of curious, is it hard to take me seriously when I've got this going on? The gear that you need for this, super simple. I got the microspikes and I was able to use all the rest of the gear that I had. So for me personally, when I went, I was wanting to hike in the winter, but I wasn't really wanting my wallet to have to commit to fully investing in like all new gear. So I actually just hiked in my Salomons and just attached my microspikes to my Salomons. These are my Salomons. These are my go-to hiking shoes. If you haven't seen my video all about these, I will link that here. Anyone that is wearing Salomons, I'm like, oh, are those Salomons? And I'm immediately like, oh, so we're best friends? Okay, awesome. still never clean them, guys. I feel like the dirt, it's a badge of honor. So tell me if you think I'm a total slob in the comments. It wasn't the greatest when we were actually tromping through the snow, just because this part is kind of like a mesh material on the Salomons. And so definitely your foot is exposed to the snow and the wet. So my feet did get a little bit wet, but it wasn't unbearable, especially because most of the snow we were able to stay just on top. Occasionally my foot definitely kind of sunk through the snow. So the top of my foot for sure got wet. Because of that, I kind of wish I had a shoe that was more fully enclosed. But I don't, and I didn't want to invest in it, so I wouldn't have changed anything, but I'm just saying that out loud for those of you that are maybe a little bit more particular when you're going hiking. Just keep that in mind. One thing that I wish I would have had differently is they actually have these shoe gaiters that go over the top of your shoes and basically kind of connect it the same way that your snow pants would. So it just helps to keep the snow off of your shoes and off of your legs, so you're not having to wear full-blown snow pants. I really wish that I would have had those because my ankles definitely were exposed and definitely got cold. And then shoes did get a little bit wet. And so I saw some other people on the trail that were wearing those, and I was like, that is gonna be the next investment that I make for my winter hiking gear. I'm gonna show you how I put my Microspikes right on my Salomons. Wait for it. Is that in focus? Yeah, so see how it says front, and then it does say back down here, right there. I can't tell from where I am, it's fine. So it tells you how you're gonna strap it on your shoe, and honestly, I took these with me. I had never used them before, and I was like, well, here goes nothing. Strapped them on, started walking, and it's just like, oh, okay, this is how you're supposed to use these. So I am going to try to do this. We're gonna see how this goes. You've got your shoe. So I just did it by slipping it on the front part of my shoe. And you kind of pull it up. You like how I'm trying to show how easy it is? It's just not easy when the shoe's not on your foot. So I'm just only using one hand. Gotta say, my upper body strength is not what it used to be. Am I right or am I right? So, there you have it. That's what it looks like on. Look how cool, guys. Technology, so amazing. Don't you think our ancestors years ago would have really loved some Microspikes? I'm gonna try this again, and I'm intentionally gonna try to be fast. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, this is quick, easy. Oh yeah, guys, whoa, much faster on this side. Listen, Karen, I got this one on quickly, okay? Boom! Okay, so there you have it. I could not have hiked Olympus when I went without the Microspikes. It was a total game changer. I hiked as far as I could, and then when I put them on, it was like night and day difference. So I was so impressed. I didn't think that they would do that much, if I'm totally honest, but they were must-haves. Oh, my whole body hurts. But you don't get views like this from down there. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't hit that like button down below yet, I would greatly appreciate you doing that now. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be the first one to know when I post a new video. And I have so many epic ones coming soon, so stay tuned. I will see you soon. Have an awesome day. I sit here and sure, I can laugh and have fun, but then I have to like post this where other people can see it. And I should be ashamed of myself, but I'm just sitting here having so much fun, and I kind of forget like, oh, other human beings are going to see this, and later on I have to make eye contact with those people. And I'm just like